You put that air conditioner on. It's cold in here.
Yeah, it was gonna get hot in here, even hotter. But I think we should have a good balance because the heat from both. What's up, everybody? We having another. Yeah, it's been recording the whole time.
Oh,
it's been recording the whole time. Like since as soon as I said little snap, we've been recording. You and Toma talking. I'm not gonna use it, but it just been recording. Hey, everybody! Look who I got on the show today. I got my mama, aka y'all call her Mama Ferg. Yeah. Tell everybody and say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Been down here in Atlanta for about 6 days, just refreshing and regrouping and hanging out with my family and had a wonderful time. Met my new grand dog, Ruckus, who don't ever stop doing whatever he does. And it's been beautiful. It's been beautiful.
It's been beautiful to have my mama down here.
Yeah.
We're trying to get her down here to stay and let her do what God has called for her life, but we will see in another time. But I'm glad you're here, Mom. I'm glad you look beautiful.
Here. Thank you. I'm blessed.
Your chocolate. You are blessed.
I'm blessed. I got my good chocolate. Colors of the mocha.
You know how many people ask about you all the time? Like, they don't even care about me. They be like, well, how your mama doing? I be like, she good. She's like, I love when you post about your mama. I'm like, well, y'all gonna get a large heaping dose of my mama today.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna have today.
Thank you all for asking about me. Always ask about me and always pray for me.
Oh.
And I'll do the same.
And we gonna have, thank y'all whoever wrote. I have a bunch of questions that everybody has and they want me or my mom to ask each other. Mm-hmm. And we finna go through these questions because we only got a limited time. She gotta get on the plane, but we still gonna get some good stuff in there.
I better hold on. You never know.
Man, I'm worried myself.
All right,
I'm gonna put the names. I'm gonna tell the names of people.
Let's go.
Whoop whoop. One of my homeboys said, "Can we prank her?" I was like, "No, we're not finna prank my mama.
Me. It might not work in your favor."
All right. They asked you, have you ever snuck a girl in the house? That's got to be for me.
I was about to say it's not for me.
Ain't no sneak, but they was in there.
When?
When they used to have to come braid my hair. You remember I used to have just like, you see in here braiding my hair.
Who I think it was?
Who you thought it was?
I ain't gonna say her name.
What she look like?
Lived down the street from us.
Nah, not her, but she was in the house though. I ain't sneak her in there. Y'all was in the room next door open because y'all wasn't trying to let me have no girls in the house. But it's been girls in the house before.
That's probably why it smell like old pits and feet and foreign smells.
Because we had women in the house.
Mm-hmm. Those stank girls that don't wash.
Wait, how do we? Okay.
You better be glad I ain't find them.
Somebody. Okay, let me see. That was from Brandy Funny Bernay. I think that's how I say the last name. All right, we got some other ones. This is Jasmine Berry. You remember from 42?
I do. Hi, Jasmine.
What up, Jasmine? Let me see.
Jasmine with the pretty face and the long, pretty curly hair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't think she sent for me. So everybody talking about dating, and my homeboy Joseph Robinson, shout out to him, said, "What's your first date budget if you used to go on a date?"
So the question is, what was my first date budget?
Like, what's a budget for a good first date? That's what we're gonna use it.
I would say, well, it depends on how much you like her and where you take her. There's no budget. I think you just have to treat a lady like a lady and go from there. You don't know what dating is now. The ladies like a lady sounds great when you say it, but when you actually doing it in 2025, you be like, oh, this ain't a lady, this a pirate. Then you shouldn't be dating her.
You right.
If you have to say that she is not a lady, then leave her where she is.
Okay.
And wait till your change come and get a real lady.
Get a real lady. What do real ladies consist of these days?
Somebody that's respectable of themselves and you carry themselves in a way that's decent.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Booty out, back out, and breasts out.
Okay, that's a lot of them.
All the bees are showing. Mm-mm.
Booties, breasts, and back.
Yeah, if all that's out, leave them where they are because they don't leave anything to the imagination. If you can see it, so can everybody else.
Y'all hear that? Modesty.
You don't want anybody like that that's showing all your goods and that's just not nice.
See? See, she making sense, ladies. Y'all taking notes. I hope y'all taking notes.
You don't have to expose your body and do all that to get a man. That's how you get somebody to just want to, what you doing?
You got to tilt the thing. There you go, right there, right
You should
there.
have said that a long time ago.
I'm sure it's
Don't be
picking
touching
it
it while
up.
I'm talking.
Okay,
Maybe
go
it was
ahead.
my train of thought. But anyhow, almost bust me in my teeth with this little thing right here. But anyhow, yeah, you have to carry yourself like a lady if you want the respect of a lady. So if you present yourself in a way that's unladylike, then you'll get what you get. I'm not saying you have to be dressed like you were in the colonial days with a bonnet and a long skirt, but leave something to the imagination. Cover yourself up.
I love a good bonnet and a long skirt if it's silk. If it's silky and it fall in your crevices ever so neatly and gently, I'm here for it.
Bonnets and long skirts was for Little House on the Prairie.
Okay. We're not doing bonnets and long skirts all 2025. Also, this is from my friend KJ. Shouts out to KJ.
KJ, what does KJ stand for?
His actual name is he got like one of them ethnic names. KJ, I don't know how to say your first name. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's why I call you KJ.
Okay, KJ, what you got?
He said, "What was it like raising me?"
Lord have mercy. We don't have enough time in a day.
Is that okay?
Dexter was a busy child, but that was because I was busy. He stayed active and involved in everything from Boy Scouts to taking drum lessons. He took karate lessons. He sang in the church choir. He danced on the dance team at church. He ushered.
Shouts out to God.
He did everything. He did it.
Soccer.
Oh my God! Yeah, he played soccer. He played on the basketball team, AAU.
Track.
Yeah, he ran track, and he did a what was the long jump in the school citywide track meet one year. And my father, who is deceased, was the fastest running man I ever knew in my life. And the morning of the track meet, I remember Dexter being downstairs talking. And I came downstairs, I was like, "Who are you talking to, Dexter?" "I'm talking to Granddad." I was like, "Oh, Lord, okay." So when we got to the track meet, Dexter jumped so high in the sky. It looked like my father lifted him up and carried him to the end of the sandbox. And Dexter was almost 13 feet that day and beat out everybody and won first place. But Dexter was always active, always social, always friendly, always funny. But most of all, Dexter was always a God-fearing young man because he was raised in the church. Now, I don't care how he act right now, but he knows who Jesus is.
That's because she be seeing me out here using the profanities a little bit. But I don't think, I always see like, yeah, I'm glad. Thank you, Mama. I appreciate. I forgot that you even remember that one. I was like, I
Remember
do
what?
remember.
I don't have Alzheimer's.
I just because I don't remember a lot of the stuff that I did. Because I just, you do it and you just be like, I did it. Because I remember you told me something a long time ago. I would do stuff and then be like, all right, did it. What's next? And I never really. I started paying attention to it. I'm like, oh, I do that. I've been doing that all my life, and I'd be like. I was like, I think it's just always been like that. I don't think I'm ever stopped doing that. I'm content in places, but it's just like I think that's just how I'm wired to do. You too.
Yeah,
you do it all the time. Not you. Who I get it from.
True.
And I don't even be trying to. I just be like, I can't not do.
Right.
It's like just it's in your body, it's in your spirit, it's in your memory foam.
So when God gives you what's called a servant's heart, you operate from that place and space. Not just sometimes, it's just who you are when you wake up in the morning and when you go to bed at night. That means to serve others, means to sometimes deny yourself, but trust in God that everything you need, He's going to provide. So
I do that all the time.
Just the line of work that I'm in, being a social worker, and working with families and communities and schools and young people that's incarcerated, all of that. You have to serve and give from your soul because they need it. They need the love. They need the genuineness and the sincerity of heart because all that does matter.
See, Mama be knowing. She be having me about to cry on the phone when she not telling me a thing or two.
Or 3 or 4.
3 or 4. My mama be telling me. I be sitting there like, I'm going to just listen and shut up. She be like, I already know you're not listening when you say this phrase.
When he say a certain thing, I be like, he done tuned me out. But I still got something else to say.
You going to say it anyway. So I'm like, I'm going to just listen. I'm going to just listen. I always wanted to have people, like, a lot of people don't know that, like, you ran a group home for 19 years and I was there the entire time. Like, how was that raising me? Because I've always been like, to me, that's natural, but to the rest of the world, that's not natural at all. That's not regular.
So for 19 years, I worked at a group home, and the kids in the group home that were residents there became our family. They became Dexter's siblings. Dexter spent the night there with me. When the kids went on vacation, one year we took everybody to Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. He went. It was never anything that he could not participate in or be a part of because they were all our family. On Sundays, they would all go to church with us.
Man.
We would come back to my house. The girls would come help me cook. The boys would be somewhere taking apart
anything
in the house, doing whatever, being boys and being curious. And that's how life was for 19 years. And during that process, I have to tell you, I taught Dexter not to see color, not to see flaws in people, and to just love people from the heart, because of who they are. Because I don't care what you've been through, what title they gave you, what medication you take, God still loves you. And so when you have a heart to serve, you are there for people at all times. And oftentimes you forsake who you are to serve others. But that's where your blessings come from.
I think a lot of the things that I get in life is because of those. Because I grew up doing that, and I never thought anything of it. I never really, because I remember it'd be days you'd be like, stop giving people your clothes, and I'd be like, well, I don't even wear these. And then like we'll end up wearing this, like somebody end up wearing the clothes, and I'd be like, all right, you just wearing it again. Like then we did, and I'll wear it the next week, and I never looked at it like my stuff was my stuff and nobody else could touch it. I looked at it like, all right, just be respectful with what we doing, and like, hey, if you want to wear them, ask. I don't care. Wear it. I don't care. Just ask. Don't steal. That's one thing I didn't like growing up, was stealing and
yes,
people that picked on people.
So for those who don't know, Dexter is my only biological child, but he has always shared his mother without complaint. In season, out of season, holidays, birthdays, whatever the celebration, he always shared his mother with the world. I can't say with certain people, but with the world, because the way that the Lord has me navigate with people, I'm all over the place in a good way. And just to serve the people, the community, the families, even the students at my school that I'm currently on the administrative team for in Rochester, New York. Shout out to school number 9. Woo, ooh, 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 ooh. Yes, I'm in the best elementary school there. So yes, it's just always he came to visit me, but he came in March of this year to visit me, but he also took time out to go speak to the 6th grade boys. He came in my office and watched how the little kindergartners run up to me, Miss Lee, I'm having a good day. Can I have my Oreos?
Yeah, they
all of those things matter, and he shares his mother with the world. He always has. And so this is his season, and I'm speaking this on camera. This is his season to be poured into so that he can reap those things that he's given out. So we're just waiting and watching and expecting.
And praying. And praying. Like one thing, one of my favorite memories of you growing up, it sounds crazy when I say this, but my mama used to be a principal at you remember the alternative,
Water Tower Academy.
Yeah, a Water Tower Academy. Basically, if your kids was fighting and stuff at school, instead of them going to jail, they go to my mom's school. And she'll just come home some days and be like, me and so-and-so had to fight some gang members, and I was tossing girls everywhere. I'm like,
oh, that really did happen.
She done broke fingernails. Like, it happened way more than I can count. I ain't even gonna lie to you. My mama fought gangsters a lot of times, and they would come home with broke fingernails and a crazy story, and then the lady at church was with her, and they fighting in the street with these girls.
You're not gonna beat up my kids.
And it was not to me, it was crazy, but this is like, that's life. That's crazy. They fighting in the street. That's wild.
So we had an after-school program, and we partnered with probation with the stories that Dexter was talking about. We had to go pick the kids up in the vans. And there would be times we'd have to go get the kids, and they wouldn't come out the house. They'd be like, oh, no, I got beef with so-and-so and such and such on the street. And I'd be like, come out of this house. We got to go. We got to go. Ain't nobody about to do nothing. And when they would come, I'd be like, go somewhere and sit down. Leave these babies alone. You good and grown. Leave these kids alone. And one time, some girls tried to jump one of my girls, actually when we pulled up, the girls was already in her face, and I tried to grab her and bring her in the van for safety, and they swung on me, and I said, well, here we go. Now you about
Fired
to die.
up. Yeah, and that's one person you don't want to see fired up. I thought I was
Now,
bad.
my nails are short, but I used to have them real long, but when you break my nail, if you would break my nail, that'd be a whole nother side of me.
Oh, my
Miss
mama
Lee.
had the long, like, 1990s.
They used to be cute.
I don't know how she could write with these long, like kind of like how they got them now, except for not pointy, but they used to be like curled. They used to be like
I
curl.
was throwing gang signs
Yeah.
back in the day. Didn't even know it.
Jesus. She was
JC for Jesus Christ. In the building always.
That's one of my. I just enjoyed that time growing up because I never knew that was all of the things would shape me to be this person today, and it's just crazy to see that. Like, not crazy to see. It's just all the things that I used to not even hold for granted. I used to see people like, you remember Black that used to live up the street. I used to hoop with, man. I remember like we used to fight all the time. I never told you this story. Shout out to my man Black. He know who he is. Cause I went to school of arts.
Jared.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom. Yeah. What's up, Jared? I went to school of arts my 9th grade, and he was the Black of the school. So you know, if you got the nickname Black, but I was darker than him. So me and him and Dylan fought for like a good 2 months straight. Like we physically was fighting all the time just to be like, hey man, so just to see if they earn respect the name Black. And I was like, all right man, we ain't gonna do this. Then we fought so much, and then we played basketball so much against each other that we kind of just was like, all right, we gotta stop.
He's a good guy.
We gotta stop. And then he lived up the street from us. Shouts out to Black man. He remember us. We used to fight all the time. He was one of the ones like, stop being a little hoe. He hit me and I hit him back. We ended up fighting. It just was the love language of just, you know, being in the inner city and Black and playing sports. So shouts out to everybody at School of the Arts that remember all them fights and random stuff we would do.
School of the Arts back in the day was where it was. It was good times. Lots of good times. Mr. Iglesia, the basketball coach, and how him and his wife would take everybody to their house and just keep you guys close to them. It was beautiful. That kind of community is starting to rapidly fade away, and that's why we see so much violence in our city and our communities, because we've lost that village mentality.
Yeah.
We say it, but we don't act on it.
Yeah.
And if more people would just kind of embrace some of our youth and young people and show them, mentor them, lead them, guide them, and speak life into them, you know, I think we see a different outcome. When I was a social worker in Monroe County Correctional Facility for 4 years, I used to tell those young people, this is not where it ends. This could be just your starting point. Don't let the jumpsuit and these doors and these cell bars define your future. God has the plan. Because if you read your Bible and go to Jeremiah 29:11, it tells you God has a plan for your life, for your future. And his plan is always for us to prosper and to have hope. So if you're feeling hopeless and can't see your way, you better go back to the Bible. And if you didn't know the Bible, go to the Bible. And those who knew the Bible and went away, go back to it. And remind yourself and encourage yourself like David had to. Because God is there to give you everything you ever want and need. And sometimes his answer is going to be yes. Sometimes it's going to be no. And sometimes you got to wait. But just trust that he hears your prayers.
Mama said that there. I ain't got nothing else to say. But she right. Because I remember growing up, like, I used to always come back. Each stage of my life, I always would come back and give to the kids. And I never realized, like, oh, that's just part of me. That's just something I do naturally. Like, I remember the first time we went to college. Shouts out to Jew and everybody from CCXV. We all got the tattoos on our chest.
Ooh, yeah. Those boys still friends to this day. That's true friendship. I love it.
Yeah, they hold me accountable and I hold them accountable, man. And we would come and talk to the kids when we come from college, because we was just like the kids growing up. That's like we was talking to, like we was running around the city, not knowing what we was doing. I just knew that in order for me to succeed in life, that I had to get out of where I was at. It wasn't a negative space. It just was like I saw more and I felt like I could do more. And I believed in it and I saw it because I was doing it already. I just didn't know. That
Walk
too.
By faith, not by sight.
Been walking by faith so long, I don't even know how else to live, to be honest with you. it's a crazy thing to say, but I always hear people talk about it at church, and I always used to see people say that they wanted things and never really changed their life to make it happen. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't want to go through the ups and downs that they go through because it feel like it's a negative. I'm like, no, it's just a learning process. You figure it out as you go, but you also have people in your corner when things get tough that you can talk to. So, like, a lot of people I always seen growing up, I always see people talk about having faith, and then a lot of times I never seen people actually practice having it.
We talk it, but we don't actually
the walking it is the hard part for a lot of people. For 90% of us, walking by faith is the hardest part to do because you don't know. Mm-hmm. You don't know.
But that's where you have to just trust God in the process. And so Dexter is my only child, and he often tells his story about growing up to a single mother. So one of the things I will tell you all that you might find unbelievable, that from kindergarten to 12th grade, Dexter never missed a day of school because I would have snapped his neck.
Yeah.
Chicken pox, cold, mumps,
I was in there snotting on kids.
Broken
headaches,
leg, eyeball hanging out. Push it back in. You're going to school.
But I like going to school though.
But yes, he struggled with being the smart kid and the athletic kid, because sometimes the two worlds don't balance. So you have to find your way, and it was always a journey for he and I, because we had some hills and some valleys, we had some pitfalls, but we kept going. We always kept moving.
Yeah.
And in your life, don't stop moving, because that means you're making progress. You're making progress, so don't stop. Even if it's baby steps, keep pressing, keep striving, keep moving, and get some good people in your life. Money and degrees are good, but your good name and being respected by many will carry you a long, long way.
It does, because I am a living. You and me are a living testament. Because it's sometimes I haven't interviewed for things that have happened to me in my life since I was 22, and I've had a lot of things happen.
I was 22 one time.
Yeah, I remember. I think I was about to say you just had me at
21.
21. And we was in Atlanta, running around doing Atlanta activities. Let me see. This is from China.
Oh, Lord. Hey, China, I don't know where you are and what you're doing with your life, but I hope it's all good.
She watching. She wrote this. She was like, she gave me 3 questions. I'm going to see which one.
Oh, Lord, China.
This is one. She said, did she ever think you was going to grow out of that high top fade era? And then the second one is, how does she feel that she raised a sex symbol? And that's to me, first of all, that one right there, I'll be like, that's what we doing. And number 3 was like, are you happy with his career choices? Because those who knew you were supposed to be a pastor. They said I was supposed to be a pastor.
I never heard that one before.
I don't want to say being a comedian and entertainment. It's the same sort of, but just different spectrums. It's like you have a community that you talk to. They might not lead with faith. You might lead with, life experiences and things that happen that people relate to. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of the same, but it's not like a church at all. But it feel like it sometimes. I do understand what she's saying, though. But which one did you want to touch on?
So the high top fade. Yes, Dexter went through his Steve Urkel phase.
Norbit?
He had the high top fade, the braces, and at one point wore a school uniform. But he was still my baby. Mm. He's still my bright-eyed baby. And he grew out of it. And then he transitioned to, I think, waves. I'm looking at his head.
I was like, I don't know. I think at a certain point, I just had a fro because I was waiting for you to be like, you can get braids, but you just be like, I'm not raising no thug. I'm like, well, I'm not a thug. Yeah. But everybody around me got braids.
My sister used to, when he grew his hair out, my sister would keep his hair braided because I was like, his hair is just too long and too thick. I don't even know what to do. Plus, I had long nails and I wasn't cutting them because I was cute.
Wasn't finna braid. She was not.
I was cute. So
I didn't even think that in my mind. I was like, oh, my mama can braid my hair. I ain't never think about it. I'm pretty sure I did.
I just didn't do it because
and then I went to locks. I remember that one. Oh, you hated locks.
I was like, shear him.
Ooh, she hated when I had dreadlocks, boy. And I had I would come home with like 6 ponytails. She hated it so much. She was like, "Why you are not going to church like that? Go get your hair done." I'm like, "It's done. I'm gonna just pull in a little ponytail, and we gonna go praise the Lord." She was not having locks, and then. I remember them days. I remember you was worried that I was gonna be a thug. I was like, they already around me. I see what's going on. I don't want to live that life, mama.
When he graduated from Canisius, he had locks.
And then
looking like Predator.
I did. Then I cut him off because they wasn't trying to give me no job, which is crazy. When I cut him off, I got job offers, and I was like, that's I don't like that for America or for a black man. But it really is real. Like I literally was going to interviews, knocking the interviews out the park, and then as soon as I cut my hair off, oh, you can have a job, and it's crazy.
That's discrimination for
Definitely
real.
Discrimination.
But the lesson you learn here is sometimes you have to play the game to get in the game. So once you get in the game, you can then make some rules that you play by.
Give them the middle finger.
Don't you do that. Put your finger down, break your finger. What was the second question?
The other one was, how does it feel that she raised a sex symbol?
Well,
and that's
I don't
crazy
know
to
how
me.
a mother could answer that question because you should never see your child as sexy. I'm sorry. Just don't say that.
See, China, you being weird.
So, China, get your mind right with Jesus and them.
Well, well, I guess I'm a sex symbol to her, I guess.
Well, then, okay.
I guess I could be a sex symbol to folks. Which is weird to me. That's one thing that's weird to me, that women be like, yeah, let me see what your shirt off. And they be like, I'm more than my body, y'all.
First of all, Dexter is the blackest hippie I have ever met in my life. I don't know.
He ain't been in Atlanta long enough.
He have on clothes and socks and shoes and sandals from Walmart that I can't stand. I just want to set them on fire.
That's the one pair of sandals I got.
They are the ugliest
brown
sandals in the world.
My mama hate them because I just was going hiking one day and needed some sandals.
He had held up once so y'all could see him.
I had to get some
orthopedic shoes.
I had to give him the Nigerian sandals. And I was going on a hike and I just needed something. I was like, these ain't that bad. I wish they had a black pair. I'd be in these hills of Atlanta in these little shrubberies, nature reserves with sandaled up. You would never see me. And then the other one trying to ask, like, are you happy with career choices?
His career choices? Is that for Dexter or for me?
She said his.
Whatever he is called to do by God, I cannot interfere. What I can do is continue to pray and support and give him some sound advice. Half the time he don't want to listen, but that's okay. I have to continue to still be his mother and speak what I'm supposed to speak and support and give correction when it's due.
And she does that. Mm-hmm. She does it, and I appreciate you for it. Because a lot of times I probably don't want to hear it, but I listen. Mm-hmm. I listen in my own way. We all listen in our own way. It takes some time. Because it's a new way of thinking. Everything is like that. What do you miss most about me? That's what somebody just asked. That's
what do I miss most about you?
Yes,
it's being
Pretty
home
Lips Dorsey.
Together under the same roof.
That's why when I go home, my mama be trying to give me all of the foods, y'all.
I be trying to cook all his favorite stuff.
All of the foods. That's why I feel bad I be thinking like, man, if you can't cook, ladies, whew.
Better listen.
Hey.
Listen.
Look.
You better listen.
Somebody, Pretty Lips Dorsey asked me, what was the best advice she ever gave you? That's a good question. Best advice you ever gave me.
I can answer that. I can tell you what I think is important.
What do you think?
Always tell God thank you and be thankful.
Okay. That's one. I ain't never really think about it till I read it just now.
Look at my grand dog sleeping.
A boy out here living his best life. Oh, okay, I got it. Best advice you have given me was to always try your best and give your best no matter what you do. Because you might not be the best at it, but you did it and gave it your best. And if you go from there, it's kind of like, what else? You gave your all. What else is there to do? So if you feel like wherever it comes from, you giving your best was a positive or negative, it's up to you. Because there's a lot of stuff I'm like, I'm not good at this, and I gave my best. I'm like, you know what? People was like, you did a great job. I'm like, for real? I was worried the whole time.
But we have to stop second-guessing our gifts. There's a difference between gifts and talents. Your gifts come from God. Talents are man-made. So if God has gifted you with something, work with it.
Yeah.
Work on it. Move accordingly. Stop sitting back thinking and wondering, because fear will keep you paralyzed, and procrastination is the thief of time. So get yourself moving. Start moving in it. And stop thinking that you have to be in the background. No. God has a plan for us. And it's not to be in the back. He said we are the heirs, kings and queens. That doesn't mean we're eating from the scraps from the table. Sit at the head of the table. Know your place. Speak and walk in that place and in your purpose. Be ready to put some work in, because it is work. But you know what? It's worth it in the end. You don't want to go through life with coulda, shoulda, woulda, and wondering if you had them.
Man, you don't.
So go out there and try it. It gets fearful sometimes, but trust that if God gave it to you, He equipped you to make it through.
This is from Tracy Locks. When did you realize your pain could make people laugh, and how did she feel watching you turn it into your purpose? Okay, I'll answer the first part then. I didn't, when did I realize?
Maybe when you were younger and you had the camcorder.
It wasn't pain. Oh, I remember the first day I realized it. You remember I had Toastmasters, and that dude passed out before I had to give my speech? For anybody that's ever done Toastmasters, it's a what was it? It's like an organization.
It's a public speaking class.
Yeah, my mom put me in a public speaking class. I was like 15. And basically, you go through these courses, and each week you have to have these assignments, and you turn them in. And it's all about public speaking and how to talk to people. Never thought that I was going to be a comedian, by the way. Never. It wasn't even. I just like funny stuff and love watching funny stuff. And for our final project for us to graduate, we had to give 10 minutes or 5 minutes?
I think it was like 5 minutes.
5-minute speech, which back then was an eternity. But now I'd be like, that ain't enough time. And the dude in front of me went up. And, you know, like you watch them spelling bees on ESPN when they be like, spell cantaloupe. And the kid be like, see, and then he just fall out. That's exactly what happened. Right before I went up, the dude fell out. When I say fell out, he just melted like hot butter. Just bloof, hit the ground. And then we had to stop. Everybody had to get him up. And guess who had to go after them? My mind. And what's the first thing I say? Well, I ain't about to pass out like him. And they started laughing, and then that right there was like, oh, whatever I just did, that felt great. But I didn't know that was pain. I just was like, that was something that happened. But so I guess people associate, you know, trauma, whether good or bad, as pain. But that's the first time I really realized it, and then just, that was the first time.
So I'm gonna jump in right here too. I think some of the life lessons that Dexter had to learn on this journey that didn't feel good, he's also made them into, he's turned them into life stories that he shares on stage. Because the truth is, the majority of what he says on stage really did happen. He will embellish the story, but a lot of it is therapeutic for him.
Oh, it definitely is.
So for him to tell his story so that he can get the pain that was associated with the incident or the situation out. And that's helpful, because we don't want to carry that stuff. That's how we end up with all sorts of medical conditions,
ulcers,
and everything. So we have to be careful about and be aware of what's going on in our body and in our mind. The hurt, the disappointments, the broken relationships, the financial stressors of life. Just life. When life keep lifing and it feels like it's beating you up, that's stress. That's trauma. And so I'm not going to go into my therapist mode right now, but do something with it to take it from the inside and get it out. Because if you don't, it's going to impact your health in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. And I actually owe it to you, to how you said you have to do something with the stress. You instilled, I don't know if it's either just how we made, but you instilled in me early, exercise is a stress reliever. And absolutely. I really appreciate you I have never not worked out. Like, ever since I could remember, I'm like, I always was in the attic. I remember days I'd be stressed out, ready to punch people. I'd go to the attic, be doing pull-ups and push-ups.
Even when you were little, and I would go to my fitness class, I took you with me.
I remember we was in the one with the roaches. Oh, man. My
We
mom
had a
used to take me to the
community room.
hood. My mom, we was in the hood, and we used to have this little, it was a little, yo, I remember the song, Keep on Moving, Don't Stop, Hallelujah, Keep on,
Let
I don't know the words. But I remember that was one of the songs, and I used to see it like I'd be in there like, what are we doing? They in there doing aerobics. I'm over here making the game, trying to kill all the roaches.
Run them over with the little Tonka trucks.
Yeah, I'm like, rah, killing roaches. I'm trying to figure out different ways to kill the roaches where we at. But
That's where we came from.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't afford a gym membership.
Man.
But I knew that it was important to try my best to keep myself in a
That was
healthy
crazy.
way. You know, having Dexter, I had no college degrees. During his lifetime, I got 3 degrees, certifications, all sorts of stuff. And so, you know, just finding my way, never giving up, never stopping. Now getting ready to go back to school and do a couple different things. I'm not going to disclose right now. But,
You've been telling me you want to get your doctorates for a while.
So there's a few different things on my agenda right now. And the Lord and I are in deep conversation. He already told me which way to go, so I'll be handling that soon and very soon. But, you know, it's important to be healthy in your mind, your body, and your spirit. So keep that in mind as we go through life. And life seems like it's weighing you down. Do something to get yourself lifted, whatever it is. Mine is in my yard or playing with my dog. I have a big old
Yeah,
pit
you
bull.
do. She got a pit bull. That's
Serenity
crazy.
Grace. Shout out to my pit bull.
She is crazy for my mama. So if y'all try to break in her house, you will get ate up real fast. I'm just letting you know.
Or in my yard, baking, cooking,
Definitely
dancing, exercising, hot bubble baths with jazz music, and find what works for you. Because everyone has different things, but you have to find what works for you, and you have to be intentional about your peace.
Yeah.
You have to be intentional. Let me say it again. Be intentional about having peace in your life. And all those things that's not bringing peace and bringing some sort of disruption, remove them. They're not good for you. No bueno.
No bueno. What's the it was something I want to like. When I never asked you this, but how did like I know what you might say.
What?
I'm reading these other ones. What's John? What do you talk? People asking crazy questions on here. Somebody said, "Well, you talk to God. Do you say man or woman?" I'm like, that's a good question, but
I just say, dear Heavenly Father, Father, however it goes, just talk to him.
Like, well, going through all of this that I get life together. Like, as a baby, what made you just not allow me to be mediocre? Was it something you saw early, or what was it? Because we all have this in us, but I feel like it's gotta be cultivated. That's why I think mothers and women that raise children are really important in, kids' life. Because if your mama is crazy a little bit, and she not doing what she's supposed to do, and she just, it's kind of hard for you to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But like, I don't think I ever not seen a light at the end of the tunnel. Even when it was bad, I just like, oh, this just happened. This, time is gonna pass, and you just keep moving forward. Like, what was something that you saw when you was like just having me and just raising me that kind of was like this a little different?
Well, first of all, let me take the story way back. For those who don't know, I'm the youngest of 9, and my mother was a faith-walking, God-fearing woman from the day I can remember up until the day she took her last breath on April 3rd this year.
Yeah.
So all I knew and all I know is God, and to trust him in all things, give thanks. So that's all I know. So if that's all I know, that's all I knew to teach Dexter. That's all I knew to pour into him. So with that came greatness, because you can't serve God and be mediocre. That's not his plan for us. And so when we find ourselves in that low place, and sometimes it will, you got to look up and get up, or get yourself around some people who can help pull you up. because mediocrity isn't a place we should be comfortable in.
No.
We deserve more than that. We possess more than that. We're stronger than that. And so you have to move and fight and press past the darkness that sometimes will come. Those clouds don't last long.
Yeah.
They don't last long. So you have to keep moving. I keep saying it. You have to keep moving and pressing. Sometimes the people in your inner circle, you need to let go of some dead weight. Cut the fishing line and let the dead weight go. Let them swim back out to sea. We can't save the world. What was that song? Save the world, feed the hungry people. That was a song by Yolanda Adams. We cannot save the world. That's not our mission. God gives us all an assignment. And if you're not sure what your assignment is, go before the Lord in prayer and ask him. And if you're not sure, if you don't hear an answer, start moving in the place of purpose that you think you should.
Yeah.
And if it does not work, you'll know. If it doesn't feel good, you'll know. You'll get shifted and redirected. But you have to do something. Again, you have to, if you're already moving, keep moving. If you're not moving, start moving. And if you're moving and it's feeling good, keep going.
Yeah. It do start where you started at, because it's some days I would just be like, man, I do remember like always having talks with you and just having real talks. And I remember this time you said we moved. I remember I was like 1 and you said we moved up here and you said we couldn't watch Pursuit of Happiness. That always stick in my mind. That the scene when he was in the bathroom holding his child. Mm-hmm. And every time I like, when I feel like life is like, man, I don't know what's going on, man. You might be worried about money, you might be stressed out or something. I'm talking about myself. Mm-hmm. And I always think of when you said you was at that place in life, and I'm like, it's no way that I could. I have to repay you with being great in just what I'm doing currently. So I always look at it as like this woman sacrificed and was at this point with me as a newborn, and I don't even have a newborn, and I shouldn't, like, I should be able to, everything that she's fed into me, be able to feed back into our family and, give it to the world. So I always think of that when you tell me that, I always be like, hey, my mama here, and she was at the Pursuit of Happiness level. And everybody done had a Pursuit of Happiness level in their life. It might last for a year, might last for a couple weeks, might last for 3 summers. You never know. But if you keep going, I always hear you talk about that and how it made you change your mind and how you kind of was like, I need to get this together and this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. So, like, always watching you do that was always been a very, like, I was like, my mama don't sleep. I be trying to figure out, I remember the first day I remember you pooted. I was like, you break wind? I remember, I'll never forget that. That was at Marshall's.
Marshall's.
Shouts out to Marshall's, helping us make family bonds. You remember that day? I remember that day.
No, I don't.
I was playing, I don't know if y'all remember. You know how you little, you could hide in the clothes? I was hiding, I used to want to scare everybody.
Right.
I was just running, I'm going to scare my mama. And I ran, and I didn't know you was right there, and I ran into you, and then I ran into your butt. You was like, pfft, and I was like, and then we laughed. I was like, well, you passed gas? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because most kids think their parents are superhuman, and that's good. But let me say this on camera and take you off the hook. You don't owe me. Mm-hmm. You don't owe your family. Mm-hmm. You don't repay. You just keep pressing. What you do, you do. And we celebrate you. You've got the most supportive family of any families I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
Shouts out to unks and them.
To everybody. To all
everybody,
my brothers,
the whole family.
Nieces, nephews, cousins, friends.
Man.
Dexter's other mother in Rochester.
That's another other mother too, man. Shout out to my other mother. A lot of y'all don't know everybody got multiple moms in their life, but this was another. Shout out to my mama Kim. We love you. I love you. I wouldn't be here doing some of the things I'm doing if it wasn't for you. When it was days, I'd be like, my mama keep telling me to do this. And then she'll be like, don't worry about it. She just love you. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to keep going.
Get it together.
Yeah, my mama's very strict.
Absolutely.
Very strict. I don't want to say you were strict, but it's also only so much you could have did as a kid as we was growing up, because we was outside a lot. Mm-hmm. Like, the more I look at it, I was like, boy, I know you was. Now I see why you used to be so worried. Because we was outside. I don't know if y'all know how outside I was. Like, we used to leave the house at like 8 in the morning and be going to like 10 at night in the neighborhood, just in the neighborhood. Might be hooping, might be playing football, just out.
Dexter spent a lot of his childhood with a basketball in his hand.
Like, literally outside, like, all the time. Some days she'll yell at me, like, don't go to this. I remember the day you told me not to go play basketball because somebody was killing in this neighborhood. They were shooting and killing people. And I was mad at you, and I was like, man, I can't go outside and hoop. And then the next day, where I was supposed to go, they had found like 3 people in cars shot up. And I was like, I'm glad
Mamas
I didn't
be
go.
knowing. Shout out to Mama Intuition.
Your mamas be knowing. I be like, you know what? I ain't gonna fight it. If you tell me don't go, it's some reason you told me don't go. But as a kid, like I don't see it like that.
Most kids don't.
I don't. I remember the day. It's so many moments in life that I just look at it like, man, that was real. That really happened when I walked on to play Division I basketball, because I used to play basketball all the time. Like, that was my life.
He get it from his daddy.
Like, that was like anything sports related was in my life. It don't matter, and I was good at it. I was good at it, very good at it, to the point where like the college coaches knew I didn't have a scholarship, and they was offering me to go other places to go hoop, and I just was like. And I remember the day I was like, I don't have to prove myself no more. When they came up to me and was like, you could sign the paperwork to play Division I, I was like, nah. And that was the day I was like, okay, I don't have to live through this anymore. And you cried. I remember you cried.
You never have to go through life proving yourself, because the greatness that's in you, when you're in line with your purpose, people will see it. You don't have to go through life proving yourself, comparing yourself, or competing with others. If you're doing that, proving yourself, comparing and competing, then you are wasting a lot of time, effort, and energy on nothing.
I agree.
Because when you're in your purpose, it is just what it is. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Somebody texting you.
That's my school. My children at school number 9.
They're cutting up. But you're absolutely correct. But as a black man, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Mom. It be days where you just look at people and you be like, how did this happen? Like, I don't see it as competition, but I just kind of see how we get overlooked a lot of times. Like, more times than not. And I understand it's insecurity on their part, because I've been in rooms where I don't even know these people. They saw me and sought after me, and I'm in the boardroom dressed like this with all these people asking me questions, and then nothing come of it because they don't know what to do with the fact that I know all these things and I do these things, and they don't know what to do with me as a person. And in my mind, I used to be like, man, why they don't do, like, why this person got this? I used to look at it like that. Then I kind of took my step away, because we all human. I see people doing stuff. I see doing great things. I don't hate on that, but I'm like, but how? And then I think about it, I'm like, oh, it's because I'm not supposed to have that. And once I start wrapping my mind around that, especially if you're a heterosexual black man, especially if you work in entertainment, if you gay a little bit, you can go far. It's crazy.
With God, you can go further.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
That?
No, I'm with you there.
I'm
with you there. I'm 100% with you. But it's just like you start seeing people like, bro, or if you're non-threatening, they'll be like, oh, this person is great. He makes everybody comfortable in the room because, you kind of soft, which ain't a bad thing, but it's like, but dang, that's crazy. That's what y'all want. And it's a lot of people, they'll bend to be like, well, I guess I got to do this to fit in and do that. And I never been, like you said, I never could fit in. So it just was like, I always seen it all through every facet of my life. And I just kind of was like, oh, okay, I'm going to just do what I do. And then things come.
So I'm going to say this live on camera to Dexter. Your days of being behind the scenes are over. Walk in your purpose. You're not Flavor Flav, the hype man. You are Dexter, God's anointed and appointed. It's time for you to walk in your purpose. Mm-hmm. Stop thinking you have to follow behind others. Mm-hmm. Step out in the same faith we've just talked about. Walk in it. No more. The struggle is over. So you have to believe it. And the next time they say you are the guy that's opening up, no thank you. Do you have a place for me on the lineup? Mm-hmm. No, thank you. No, you're not mailing me my check. I didn't mail you my work, as Medea said. So I want my money right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to walk in your purpose. No longer should you be standing in the background and waiting for compensation after your work has been delivered.
Mm-hmm.
No longer should you be the guy driving somebody else somewhere for them to get the big money and all the accolades, and you just the guy in the background. No. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
The new journey starts effective now. It's in the atmosphere. I've spoke it, and it's done. And it's sealed. It's time.
Mm-hmm. Y'all heard it, everybody. And I heard it, and God heard it. So let me see. I think I got one more question. I know you gotta get to your plane.
If I miss this plane, y'all better
You
come
not
up,
gonna miss
go
this
find me
plane.
for Airbnb a hotel.
Ooh, looking at you now. This is from Tracy Locke. Looking at you now, what kind of man does she see standing before her? It's a good question.
Who do I see standing before me now?
Mm-hmm.
A man of greatness, a man of great courage, a man of great wisdom, great power, and a heart for people, and a man that's going to do things that's going to blow everybody's mind, including his. Because God has great plans for Dexter. And it's not to stand in the background. God gave him gifts, and he gave him authority. So he's got to start walking in it. And once he does, there's that song, God's going to really blow your mind. Watch and see. Watch and see. Remember, I said it.
We said it at 12:08.
I said it only because God has
May
already
27th.
spoken it over him and in him. And so if God said it, that settles it. Now I have to get ready to go to the airport.
Yeah.
It's been great talking with y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease.
Thank you, Mom, and I love you for even doing this.
Love you too.
Hey, everybody, stop writing my mama these crazy notes, because I done had to skip through so many of these stupid questions.
That's all right.
y'all
Let them be
there.
crazy. That's all right. Because you know why? That means you're thinking, and I'll need you to keep thinking. Keep thinking outside the box.
Shouts out to everybody that actually submitted questions that I read. I appreciate y'all. My mama appreciate y'all.
Yes,
we finna get it to the airport. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. So this is an exclusive No Draws podcast with mi madre, the woman who I came from, and I have to take her to the airport. But I love y'all and see y'all later, heathens.
Until next time.
All right.